You're watching E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we're going to continue with the whole football preview. We're going to discuss the Miami Dolphins. Now, this is my other favorite team. I grew up watching the Dolphins a lot when I was young during the 80s because they were on TV a whole lot, believe it or not. At that time, Dan Marino was a big deal. He was like the same kind of attention Peyton Manning gets now as what Dan Marino got in the 80s. So I got to see a lot of the Dolphins play on TV. And that's how I became a fan. I liked their color scheme, believe it or not. And I really enjoyed watching Dan Marino play. And I just started watching them, started following them. Then my cousin was a fan, so we used to get together and have fun watching the game with my father. And he's a Jet fan. So, but anyway, the Miami Dolphins. Now, first of all, Ryan Tannehill, I think, had a good year last year for a second-year quarterback. He threw 24 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, which is a lot, but it was only his second year, and threw for almost 4,000 yards. He was about 87 yards shy of a 4,000-yard season. So that's not too bad for a second-year quarterback. So I think they're okay there as long as he continues to progress. The running game is the issue with the Miami Dolphins. It's not the passing game. I mean, they have the receivers. You know, they have Brian Hartline. They have Michael Wallace. I'm not concerned about their passing game. It's their running game they need to have, because what will happen is once everybody starts sitting on the pass, that's why Tannehill got sacked so much last year. And if they can keep other defenses honest about the run or the pass, that gives Tannehill better play action. That gives Tannehill an opportunity to drop back and not get as much pressure. And I think he can light up the scoreboard if given that opportunity. But the running game is the issue, and that's what's going to be the big key to success for this team, is whether or not they can run the ball. Defensively, Paul Salai went to the Falcons, which was sucked. I really liked him, but you know, it is what it is. Free agency, that's how it's done. But defensively, they have good players. Miami's always had ever since like late 90s, the Dolphins have always had a solid defense. From the time that the Zach Thomas and Jason Taylor era started up to now, their defense has always been solid. So I expect their defense to play well and keep the team in the game. The number one question for the Dolphins is running the ball. That's what they got to do. They have to run the ball. If they don't run the ball, people are going to sack Ryan Tannehill all day, and that's why they're going to lose. You know, there'll be turnovers. Blindside robbers will be coming from behind Tannehill, knocking the ball out. This is the kind of stuff that happened last year. The Miami Dolphins got off to a good start last year. It was when it got to the point where they couldn't run the ball and defenses started changing their scheme and just blitzing the hell out of Tannehill, and then that was that. So, you know, that's where the Dolphins have to improve. The other thing is they're in a tough division. I mean, the first game of the season, they're playing the Patriots on Sunday. That's not a cakewalk, you know? I mean, granted, they're at Miami. If I'm not mistaken, they are at Miami. Yes, they are. And, you know, but it's the Patriots. The Patriots are always a solid team. Division games are always closer than normal. So I expect the Dolphins to play well. It's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a tough match. It's not going to be a blowout. This is going to be a good game. I mean, the Dolphins are a good team. They just, like many other teams, have certain areas of their offense that they need to improve, and offensive line is one of them. It's you know, the offensive line is decent, but they need to run block. That's the bottom line. They need to run block. So in terms of the game on Sunday, I mean, I really think it's unbiasedly speaking, it can go either way, because we don't know how the Patriots are going to look now. I mean, they always look good. Don't get me wrong, but like, you know, they preseason has struggled a little bit, but you know, it's going to be interesting to see how this game plays out. I'm going to say I'm going to take the Dolphins only because they're at home. Only because they're at home, and only because I still don't have 100% confidence in the Patriots defense. And I'm going to just go out on a limb and say that the Dolphins are going to be able to run the ball. If the Dolphins are able to run the ball on the Patriots, I think they can win the game. I think they can win the game. Because another thing that does is that takes Darrelle Revis out of the game because you're not passing as much. Because you know Darrelle Revis is going to be guarding Mike Wallace. But again, Tannehill still has Brian Hartline as another target. So, I think Miami can beat them. And it's just a matter of stopping them on defense and running the ball. Obviously, stopping them on defense is the hard part. I mean, the Patriots always seem to have a potent offense. It wasn't quite what it used to be last year, so we'll see how they've made adjustments this year. But, yeah, I'm going to take the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins have an opportunity to be better this year. But, again, it all depends on the running game. If they run the ball, I see them going to the playoffs. If they can't run the ball, they're not going. Period. That's just how it is. So, but anyway, guys, that's it. If you're a Dolphin fan, what do you expect? What do you hope for? What do you predict for them this season? This is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching E.T.N. Don't forget to subscribe and join the Nation Facebook page.